Good morning. It is the 17th of June, and we had a little 7:30 news here, and you can see it was a very strange 7:30 news to some degree, in that we came up, came down, and then we just kind of kept chopping right in here. Normally, it goes up, goes down, and then it kind of picks a direction, but it rarely goes anywhere. Most of the 7:30 news is doesn't go anywhere. I made a couple of trades in here thinking it might take off, and I ended up uh, at break even on all of that. So I am literally just dead nuts even money right now. And so we are about a minute and a half till the open. We are sitting on the moving average on the 15-minute. We're sitting on the moving average on the 5-minute. We're just above the moving average on the 1-minute, which leads me to believe we will probably have a very choppy opening. We may not get a trade this morning. I'm going to try to take one quick 10-point trade and get out. Tomorrow is FOMC announcement day. I will not be trading tomorrow. And then I think Thursday's a holiday, so I probably will not be trading Thursday. So maybe Friday. We'll see. So what happens this morning. We've got about 45 seconds here till the open. Got my correct orders in. Go through my checklist here. Got the correct accounts. Everything's set up correctly. Uh, okay, we're good. We'll see what happens here and try to be patient and just see if we get maybe one good trade out of this. But this is a kind of a chop fest. And we've got some areas above and below us where the market wants to go. So we'll see what happens. Right now, our last move was to the downside. Our last swing low was to the downside. So until we make a swing high, we'll assume we're going to keep moving up. Pushed up a little bit, going back down. So we'll see what happens. And we're pushing up. Well, all right. I don't know if this is a trap or what it is, but we got a good move up anyway. That was a good 40 to 50 point move there. Still got 20 seconds left on this bar, so we're not going to get too excited to see how this thing ends. And given the pre-market chop and everything, this thing could turn around and sell right back off for all I know. We'll see what happens. All right, here's our second bar. If we get a good pullback here, I might consider buying it. I don't think that's going to happen. We closed pretty much close to the top. And this is looking very similar to yesterday's open. You do not want to underestimate the market's ability to do almost the exact same thing 2 or 3 days in a row. It's not uncommon at all. So see what this thing does. Now we're pushing down. We've got 20 seconds left on this bar. At this point, we really have to wait for it to give this a shot here. We put in a rejection there. See if it'll hold that or if it's going to push all the way back down. It's probably going to push all the way back down to the bottom of this bar. I'd be somewhat shocked if it does not. All right, so we took a little loss there. See what happens. Looking for it to get down here to about this 5 moving average somewhere in here. Maybe we'll get there. And there's our 5 move. There's our 5 moving average contact that we rejected from. See what happens here if we can get 10 points here. We're going to keep this stop pretty conservative since I've already taken a losing trade. We're going to see if we can push on up. We're just below break even here. Try to be patient. Put this up here at our balance point. All right, we got stopped out there. Doesn't mean I won't get back in. Let's see if we're just going to do another one of these grindy things where it's going to just be a dirty opening. 24 seconds left. All right, we're gonna see if this thing will go up. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We had a pretty good move off the open there. We're going to put our stop right below this bar here. This thing may go nowhere, and we're getting to the point where we're going to have to call it a day. We don't get a good up move here. Be nice to have a nice clean up move this morning without a bunch of 9,000 pullbacks, but it's not always the way it goes. So we'll see. What you don't want to do is interpret this to mean that the market doesn't want to go up just because it keeps coming back down here. A lot of times it does that uh, because they're loading up. They're really loading up to go up. My phone's ringing. Who would call me at the open? So we'll see. This is not looking real good right now, but we'll see what happens. Um, this thing's going to have to make a move up here pretty quick. I've already lost more money than I typically like to lose, but we'll stay in it and see what happens. Give ourselves a chance here. I'd rather take one big loss than a whole bunch of small losses and just call it a day if we just can't get it to go up. At this point, you see it trying to go down and then it snaps right back up. So that leads me to believe that it wants to go up. It doesn't mean they can't pull it down a whole bunch more before it does, or that it necessarily will go up. But the fact that it keeps rejecting from the lows. But the thing is, they can pull it way down with it fighting the whole way. They pull it all the way down here to the 20 moving average with it fighting the whole way down. And really what we're doing here is just going sideways. So that's not good either. This is just another really dirty opening where we got a whole bunch of moves to the downside, fighting what is clearly a push to the upside for now. So this is probably just going to turn into a loss for today, but we'll see what happens. I like my trades to be over in just a few seconds, and this has certainly not been one of those kind of days. It probably wants to come back down here to the bottom of this bar. So unfortunately, by the time that happens, I will have exceeded the amount of money that I'm allowed to lose in one day, which is not much. I try not to lose more than a couple $100 a day. Yeah, now we're kind of getting into a descending triangle thing. Uh, kind of getting to now we hit the 20 moving average there. There's our 20 moving average. And we pretty much almost got back down to the bottom of our bar here. this point, we've rejected off of this high, so it's a little hard to say which way we're going to go for now. This could have been just a trap move here. If this bar here were to get above this bar, that could be a possible sign that we want to go up. But right now, we're just chopping. All right, I'm going to give this one more shot and see if this thing will push up from here. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I think if it's going to, this is probably where it's going to from. So we'll see. Keep my stop as close as I can to have some chance of making money. And it should need to get back up to that little doji up there. So we'll see if we can get there. Move my stop up the bottom of this bar. We're back into positive territory on our moving average. This thing rejects, then we're probably going to go down a bunch. Get a rejection out of this bar here. Okay, we're going to move this to even. I don't want to lose any more money here. I also don't want to get taken out prematurely, but we're going to go at this point. We should go. All right, so we made a little bit of money there, made a little bit of our money back. And now we're pretty much just chopping sideways. So at this point, it becomes very difficult to see a bias here because we've gone up and failed, and then we've gone down and failed. Now we're going down again. So it's going to be important to see how this works off of this moving average here. If we end up coming back under the moving average, or if we go ahead and push up off of this here. We've got 7 seconds left on this bar. It should be, you stayed above the moving average there. I'm going to take that as a good sign that we're probably going to go on up. See if I can get a quick 10 here or something. Going to move this up to here so that I'm not risking much. Yeah. Well, this is about as dirty as it can get, folks. We are going to call it a day. This is not going to go anywhere. We just got another dirty opening today, and I'm down a little bit of money. I'm down about $400 a contract, which is not a big deal, but this is just chopping around, and eventually it will pick a direction. But by then you could have lost, $1,000 easily. So we'll see if we can't do something, you know, on Friday, but we're not going to trade tomorrow, and we're not going to. Probably, I don't think the markets are open Thursday. I'll have to check, but I'm pretty sure they're not. So we'll see you guys maybe on Friday.